In the 1960s and 1970s, the Texas Department of Public Safety, DPS, experienced significant events and cultural shifts that reflected broader societal changes and internal challenges. Major events and controversies of the 1970s. 1. 1974, Huntsville Prison Siege. In July 1974, a dramatic 11-day standoff occurred at the Huntsville Walls Unit when inmate Fred Gomez Carrasco and 2 accomplices took hostages in a failed escape attempt. The siege ended with the deaths of 2 hostages and 2 of the perpetrators, highlighting serious security lapses within the prison system and prompting reviews of correctional policies. 2. Murder of Jose Campos Torres, 1977. Jose Campos Torres, a Mexican-American Vietnam veteran, was beaten and drowned by Houston police officers after a disorderly conduct arrest. The officers received minimal sentences, leading to public outrage and the 1978 Moody Park riot. This incident underscored systemic issues of police brutality and racial injustice, prompting calls for reform in law enforcement practices. 3. Village Station Police Raid, 1979. In October 1979, Dallas police raided the Village Station, a prominent gay bar, arresting patrons on charges of public lewdness. The raid galvanized the LGBTQ+ community, leading to increased activism and demands for civil rights protections, marking a significant moment in the fight against discrimination. Astia. Controversy over Henry Lee Lucas confessions. During the late 1970s and early 1980s, the Texas Rangers, under DPS oversight, closed numerous homicide cases based on confessions from serial killer Henry Lee Lucas. Many of these confessions were later discredited. When McLennan County District Attorney Vic Feazell investigated the validity of these confessions, DPS Director James B. Adams authorized an investigation into Feazell, leading to his indictment and eventual acquittal, raising concerns about accountability within DPS. Culture at Texas DPS in the 1960s and 1970s. During the 1960s, DPS maintained a traditional hierarchical structure with a strong emphasis on discipline and uniformity. Troopers often operated with limited technological resources, relying heavily on personal judgment and experience. The agency's culture was influenced by the broader societal norms of the time, which included limited diversity and resistance to change. In the 1970s, DPS began to experience cultural shifts in response to societal changes, including the civil rights movement and increased public scrutiny of law enforcement practices. These shifts included gradual integration, the introduction of new technologies, and a growing emphasis on community relations. However, the transition was met with internal resistance, and the agency faced challenges in adapting to the evolving expectations of the public. Factors driving cultural change. Several factors contributed to the cultural transformation within DPS. The civil rights and LGBTQ+ rights movements demanded greater accountability and inclusivity from law enforcement agencies. The introduction of new technologies, such as improved communication systems, and, hey there folks, today we're diving into the fascinating history of the Texas Department of Public Safety in the 1960s and 1970s. These were years marked by significant events and cultural shifts that reflected broader societal changes and internal challenges. In the 1960s, the department faced a major controversy when it was accused of conducting illegal surveillance on civil rights activists. This scandal led to a federal investigation and a shakeup within the department. Moving into the 1970s, the department faced another major event, the 1974 Huntsville prison siege. This dramatic 11-day standoff occurred at the Huntsville Walls Unit when inmate Fred Gomez Carrasco and 2 accomplices took hostages in a failed escape attempt. The siege ended with the deaths of 2 hostages and 2 inmates. Throughout these decades, the department also faced internal challenges, such as addressing racial discrimination and improving training for its officers. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating historical tales. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Forensic tools required changes in training and operations. High-profile incidents of misconduct led to increased media attention and public demand for transparency and reform. Court rulings and new legislation imposed stricter standards on law enforcement practices, necessitating changes in policies and procedures. The 1960s and 1970s were pivotal decades for the Texas Department of Public Safety, marked by significant events that challenged the agency to evolve. While progress was made, these years also highlighted the complexities and difficulties inherent in transforming institutional culture.